Mark Rogers TV on college football and talking about Ezekiel Elliott's comments following Ohio State's loss to Michigan State 17-14. So let's talk about two separate comments that Elliott made after the game, one via post-game comments in the locker room, one via Twitter. So in the post-game locker room, Elliott said, quote, "I'm disappointed in the play calling. I'm disappointed in the situations that we were put in, and I wish it all played out differently. We were gashing them," talking about a particular drive after the strip sack in which Ohio State went 10 plays for 32 yards in the touchdown. He later said, "We didn't see those plays the rest of the game. Those plays weren't called. I asked for those plays to be called. I feel like we just weren't put in the right opportunity to win this game. We weren't put in the right situations." Okay. So concerning this, I don't believe that we need to go back to 1950 or 1970 in which players completely shut their mouths and didn't challenge play calling or challenge the offensive coordinator or the head coach. So I'm not taking it back completely old school that players should not voice their opinion on play calling. But this was not the forum to do it. So players, coaches continually, especially in the sport of football, talk about this being a family, this being a clubhouse, this being a sacred place, and everybody having everybody's back. Well, Ezekiel Elliott did not have Urban Meyer or the offensive coordinator's best interest in mind. He didn't have their back in this situation. He would have gone to them directly. He did during the game, apparently, and requested certain plays that were not called, according to Ezekiel Elliott. But he needs to go directly to them and talk about it. And to the public, he needs to state and be a stand-up guy and just talk about this being a loss that the entire team was responsible for, not the offensive coordinator or not Urban Meyer. I explained this to my son after the game and said, if I have an issue with you, we deal with it in our home. These players, these coaches talk about this being a family. Well, they're airing dirty laundry out in public. And that's what Ezekiel Elliott did. If I have an issue with my son, as I was explaining it to my son, I speak with him directly and I speak with him in private. And I don't go talk to a bunch of people and let them know what my son should be doing. And I speak directly to him. And that's a private conversation. That's how it should have been between Elliott and the offensive play calling for Ohio State. He should have went to them specifically. Then he should have stood up for his coaching staff and the team. Does Urban Meyer, does the Ohio State coaching staff, do they point out when players make mistakes, specific mistakes? They may say Cardell Jones isn't playing well, or somebody hasn't been playing well, or we need to get more production out of them. They don't specifically call them out and say we didn't see the effort out of this particular player. I don't hear that on a consistent basis. I don't hear it at all, specifically talking about specific players. Now, if we look at the play calling itself, Ohio State only ran 45 plays. Ezekiel Elliott got the ball 12 times for 33 yards. This is a kid who's used to running for 100 yards plus. And we saw him run for 200 plus against three excellent defenses to close out the championship stretch last year. 15 consecutive 100-yard games, only got the ball 12 times for 33 yards. He was obviously frustrated. Okay. The play calling wasn't necessarily the issue, except on 3rd and long. Ohio State continually ran the ball on 3rd and long. JT Barrett, a quarterback who was the most efficient quarterback in college football last year, was only allowed to throw it 16 times. Here's a kid who threw more touchdowns and accounted for more touchdowns than Drew Brees in his record-setting Big Ten season. He had one of the more prolific offensive seasons in the history of the conference, and he's not trusted. And you need to have a balanced attack against the likes of Michigan State, or you're not going to move the ball. When Ezekiel Elliott talks about gashing the Michigan State defense on that particular drive, they went 10 plays for 32 yards. They weren't gashing them. I saw no specific issue with play calling except for in the situation of 3rd and long. There should have been more first down passes as well to change up the offensive look, keep the defense honest. And then in 3rd and long, a number of times, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, and the like, JT Barrett rolled out and ran the ball, and it was specific run designed plays. Can't win like that. There are NFL receivers, especially Michael Thomas, running pass patterns downfield. JT Barrett has to be given the freedom to throw the football downfield. That doesn't mean that on occasion you can't gain a first down on 3rd and 8 running, a designed run, but that's not going to convert 3rd downs most of the time against the likes of Michigan State. Okay, Ezekiel Elliott tweeted, that was my last game at the shoe. There's no chance of my coming back next year. Okay, that should not have been made public knowledge either. Ohio State has at least 2 games to play. One, its most important game of the season against arch rival Michigan, then a bowl game. Minimum 2 more games. He needs to be focused on his team. He's not an NFL player right now. He cannot officially declare himself for the NFL draft until after the season. Cardell Jones did the same thing. This may give us a hint, a glimpse into what the issue was with this football team, especially the offense, not the defense. The defense has been exceptional most of the season, but the offense, for an offense that returned everybody but Devin Smith and 1 offensive line starter, 4 of 5 offensive linemen, they should have been ripping defenses apart. Maybe this gives us a glimpse into the issues with Ohio State. Yes, 10-1 and winning its first 10 games, but basically could just roll over just about anyone based on sheer talent. Maybe this team wasn't as together as we believe them to be. And that was the fear of Urban Meyer going from 2014's unity in winning a championship and trying to push the rock, push the boulder back up the hill toward another championship. Doesn't look like it's going to happen for Ohio State. Do I think Ezekiel Elliott's a bad kid? No, he's just that. He's a kid. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to say stupid things. We all do. So it was not the right thing to say in that forum. But he's 20 years old, so he's going to do it. So it's not the end of the world, but he should learn from this experience and be able to stick up for his teammates and for his coaches in public. That's my take right here on Mark Rogers TV.